Down, but happy Vlogmas day 21. As y'all saw, I went to my town's Christmas parade this morning. Was a lot of fun, especially the horses. Y'all know horse girly over here, but those really big ones, what are they? I asked a friend who I think might know, but I have no clue. I've never seen horses that big before, because there were like the normal like thoroughbred or whatever horses, and then there were like this really big beast of horse, and I'm curious about them historically and everything. I want to know all the details about those horses. But I did get a lot of eBay packages today, which when I was looking last night, it said they're not going to get here till Monday. So I'm like, are these even the ones that were that said they were going to get here on Monday? Because it is Saturday. They must have got here super fast, but I know the mail service and all those like UPS, FedEx, whatever, these all came from the postal service, Amazon. They are all doing so much work right now, and I always make sure to like thank the drivers and everything. I know, because Amazon has that option, so I've been doing that. And then the other, like the FedEx guy, if I'm out there, we always talk to him and all that. So yeah, it's a crazy time of year. Like after the parade, there was so much traffic. I don't know if it was just from the parade, because then you have the malls, Walmart, all of that, and I have to sneeze. But I'm gonna open these packages. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and again, I'm not sure what all of these are, so I'm gonna cross out the personal info and then come back and open them for you. It'll literally make it impossible to get into these packages. I don't know what kind of tape this is. It's not normal tape. This, it was so effing hard to get into. I wanted to swear so bad when I was doing it. But our first package here is coming from Whitesboro, New York, and I kind of saw the inside. No, I got a book by an author I gave like a 2-star to last year, and it was my worst book of last year, and a lot of people made a big deal. Like, they were like, oh my gosh, it's your least favorite one. it was a me problem because I was going into a historical fiction book that I knew really nothing about the subject, and I don't think that book was a good place for beginners. It was about Cicero, and now I know about Cicero. I think if I read it now, I would enjoy it more. It was a me problem, not a Robert Harris problem. But this one is about Pompeii, which is one of my, the Roman Empire is like my current fascination, and obviously Pompeii happened during that. So along the Mediterranean coast, the Roman Empire's richest citizens are relaxing in their villas, enjoying the last days of summer, and you know, stuff happens. A volcano erupts. But look at that flop. Love the flop. And this is just a short little book, probably gonna be crazy, like a disaster novel. I've never read like a historical one. No, I have, but not a good one, so hopefully that's good. This one, look at this packaging. This is coming from, I can never pronounce this, like Eau Claire. No, I know that's not how you say it. Wisconsin, from Charles. And this one was kind of hard to get into, as you can see. Ugh. And then like they will even do a package again, like these books I am buying secondhand. I do not expect, like they're not special editions or anything like that. The amounts that people package this SH is insane. To even have it packaged again and again after that. Like, this is so much trash. Oh, it drives me crazy. But this is Owls of the Eastern Ice. This was on the 100 Notable Books of 2020. A Quest to Find and Save the World's Largest Owl by Jonathan C. I don't know how to say that. But when he was just a fledgling bird watcher, Jonathan had a chance encounter with one of the most mysterious birds on Earth. One that looked like a small bear with decorative feathers. He's gonna go try to save those owls, I guess. Hoot, do y'all know that movie? It was one of my favorites in like 5th grade or whenever. Okay, I'm just thinking when I'm taking all this to recycling, I don't want to do it, but you know. This is from Santan Valley, Arizona, from Jason. Yeah, it told me I wasn't gonna get all these till Monday. I'm shocked I got them all today. This is Miko Kawakami's Breast and Eggs on a sweltering summer day, another summer one. Makiko travels from Osaka to Tokyo, where her sister Nezuko lives. That's the first sentence of the description. This one is not too floppy. It's a Europa edition, which one of my favorite books this year was also from there. Okay, now let's do this one, where this one is like really, like, I always tell people put the tape in really bad spots. But this is coming from Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Let's see if I can get into it over. I'm gonna have to cut more stuff. Okay. And of course, it's in more packaging. Okay, this one I heard about on TikTok recently. This is a really dark book. Erin on TikTok, I don't know what her tag thing is, username is, but I always enjoy her videos. But this is Father of Lies by Brian Evanson. So Provost Eldon Fox may be a sexual criminal. Ooh, and then the one that drove me, oh man, it got the ink all on my bedding. Oh, why? Okay, this is helping, rubbing it out like that. Why did I do that? I did not think. This one is packaged so terribly. Like, I want to leave bad reviews about how the way people package this stuff, but like, I get it. It's like they don't want your stuff to get damaged, but I can barely get into this stuff. And then this one is one that is once again packaged again. I get so mad doing these, but it honestly drives me insane. When I sell books, I don't do any of this and I still get 5-star reviews. So this is a Greek one. Is it Greek? No, it might not be Greek, but this is, yeah, this is British. But Sister Song by Lucy Holland. In the ancient kingdom of Domnonia, there is old magic to be found in the whisper of the wind, the roots of the trees, and the curl of the grass. Isn't that great writing? And so that's everything I got from eBay. I don't want to get the ink all on my bed again. We are going to be doing reading in this, I promise, but it's still early in the day. And I got this many books in the mail. We love that for me. We have a lot of stuff to go through over here because I just finished City of Dusk. There's so many like City of whatever fantasy books. I want to say like City of Blood, but like I don't think that's a thing. Maybe if I ever wrote a fantasy book, that would be the title. I'm joking. I have no desire to write like high fantasy. I like witchy fantasy, you know, like Wayward by Amelia Hart, was that her name? That kind of fantasy. Alice Hoffman. That like I'm saying if I wrote a fantasy, it would be like that, because I don't want to say I don't enjoy high fantasy, because the Poppy Wars, Priory of the Orange Tree, A Game of Thrones, those are chef kiss 5-star fantasy, high fantasy books. But we are here to talk about The City of Dusk, which I ended up giving a 2.5, so that's a 3-star on Goodreads. I have my compound notes right here. I haven't actually written my review yet. That's what I'm going to do after I film this clip here. But characters, I gave a 3 because I liked the majority of the characters, but the obvious main character of this book, or who I think the author's favorite character was the worst of all the characters. I have to see Tasia, Tay, that's her nickname in the book, Tay, was so insufferable because she didn't take responsibility for anything, and people do call her out for that, but it was just such a confusing character arc where a lot of her actions didn't add up to who she was as a person, and just a very immature character. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. I think Nick is the only character who we actually get an age of. So I had images in my head, and all of them were like late teens, and then the younger siblings were, you know, like 13 years old. This is an adult fantasy. I am not exactly sure how old these people are, but Tay was so insufferable. And then we have Nick, who is our main male character, just so underdeveloped, and his chapters were very sporadic all over the place. But I do think, what was her name? Risha, sorry. Risha, who is our necromancer, I think she should have been utilized so much more, because we see her in the start of the book. She's having all these struggles of having all these dead people's words in her head, and she's not able to get them out. And imagine you're having all these people tell you all at once how they died and how awful it was and what happened to them, and not knowing how to get rid of that. Wouldn't that be such a fascinating character? Then Angelica was another character that I liked, because she was the bad bitch. she knew that she was a like rude person, but she knows her worth. She knew what she wanted and was going to go after it. And I always love characters like that. They're usually my favorite characters and things. Julian, we got an outsider perspective, because all those other 4 I just said are from the royal and noble houses of the City of Dusk, of Nexus, or wherever we are. Is that the name of the place? Yeah, Nexus. They're all from the royal houses. And then we had Julian, who is just a soldier, hunter kind of thing. It would be hard to explain hunter to you guys without you reading the book, but so we'll just say he's a soldier. Julian is a soldier who is just trying to make ends meet because his mother is sick, and he wants to be able to afford her medicine and everything. He was just an outside perspective, and because when I was first reading this, because he doesn't get introduced to the second part, I'm like, I wonder what all these other random people in the city are thinking as we have all these noble teenagers going at it. I wonder what life is like here for the normal person. And then we do get that with Julian, so I was happy about that. Atmosphere, I am giving a 3. I really liked the magic system and the use of gods and descendants of gods. I found that very fascinating, but I still have a lot of questions about how some things worked and how some things weren't really explained. Oh, and something else, which kind of can go into the atmosphere. I don't know if these characters were humans or not, because at the end we have people with wings, we have people with horns, we have people with blue skin. I don't know how I was supposed to imagine these characters in my head. I made up my own thing, but there is a lack of clarity on what these characters actually look like. And I am somebody who really likes to know what people look like in a story. I like to paint an image in my head. And this book, I did paint an image, but it was never told what these people actually look like. And as I said, horns, other appendages. I'm not saying that in a dirty way, because I know sometimes people will talk monster romance and, you know, like Ice Planet Barbarians. No, I'm talking about like wings and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if these people were human or not. And I think that does kind of fall on the atmosphere of building this world. There's some questions, but this is, I'm pretty sure, a trilogy. I won't be continuing this trilogy, but maybe you get more explanation there. Writing, I gave a 3. This writing is a toss-up. The prose itself was beautiful, and there are really thoughtful, thought-provoking, reflective phrases for a fantasy book. A lot of people don't think you get that in fantasy, but you do. You can have beautiful prose. The prose itself was fantastic, but the pacing, this book could have been cut in half. This is, what, over 500 pages? Yeah, it's basically 550 pages. This could have been 250. Could have been 250. And back talking about the characters, with Tay, was the only character moving the plot forward when all the others were just dilly-dallying until they met up with Tay again and were moving the story forward. I don't know, I feel like maybe it could have been better if it was just Tay and we didn't have all those other, I don't know, maybe there were just too many characters. I don't know, but pacing issues, but the prose itself was great. And then the plot, I didn't even know what to say about the plot. We're trying to save the world, but there was just so many twists and turns, something, I don't know. I have no strong feelings towards the plot just because of the character work, I guess. And then intro, yeah, I didn't really care what would end up happening, and with the pacing issues, I just wanted this book to be over. And this book did not a whole lot for me. It was decent, but I wouldn't recommend it. Would not recommend The City of Dusk by Tara Sen. That's the review. I gave it a 2.5. At 9 o'clock, it's currently like 7:30. So at 9 o'clock, I'm going to start Tell Me Everything by Minka Kelly. I will be doing the audiobook for this, and I might be doing this as a buddy read. I'm going to have to see. And my friend, I texted him right before I started filming this that I'd be starting this at 9. So this might be a buddy read. I love this cover. I love the colors. Like, she knows her color palette, obviously. And we love when people go by their color palettes. I'm currently not, but I do love the colors and everything presented here on this cover. This is really interesting. Like, what is that all supposed to be? I don't know, but I will be starting this at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go write my book review now and then eat dinner and who knows what else. Update time. As I was talking how much I love the cover, this shade of pink is so cute. But okay, we're gonna go through my thoughts. I only read the first chapter, which was 9% of the book, and that's 26 pages. And yeah, I am loving this. It is so good. Shiver, sorry. But let's go through my notes here. Again, I just told you how much I read, so I don't have a ton of notes yet. But actually, like a page and a half. Okay. The first one, the author's note, you can tell just how mature she is, and I really appreciate that. I mean, I've never read a memoir, not that I can remember anywhere, where somebody just hasn't grown, hasn't learned from their experience. But from this author's note, you can definitely tell that she has grown and has matured. I'm gonna just read y'all this one sentence that really stood out to me. So as a result, while the depiction of some family members are accurate as to how they felt in the moment, in the years since, my understanding of the fragilities of the human condition has softened my perspective. And definitely when I think somebody can see that everybody is the way they are because of the circumstances they're in, and humans are fragile beings, I trust you completely as a person if you realize that, because I just think that's just a really mature standpoint, and just knowing that we don't really choose how life works on all that. We're not getting into that. And then here's my next page. So then we have the prologue, and we see Minka going to work at a adult video store. What is that? What is that called? The like peep show. That's the word. I thought that's what it was, but I wanted to confirm. I didn't want to say something random. So she is going to work in this sex shop doing a peep show, and there is this one point where it wasn't hard for her to find a costume to wear because she had 3 or 4 of her moms passed down from the time she was young, as if there were some kind of inheritance. And when I read this, I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be showing how generational trauma is, how I was just saying, how people, you don't choose the situation you're born into. And I talk about the YouTube channel Soft White Belly all the time because that was one of the most eye-opening, when I found that channel. I think I found it through the Whitakers, but it was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life, seeing people who were like prostitutes, seeing people who were working peep shows, seeing pimps, and seeing drug addicts and all of this stuff, the underbelly of America. At least that's what I think the name of the channel means. I'm not exactly sure, but that is how all that happens. And I think we're getting a great example here, but how that was her inheritance, was G-strings and lacy bras, and how sex work is generational, as I said, how we're going to talk more about it. And this quote on page 4 again, because people need empathy, that's a big thing. But on page 4, they're talking about how her mom was a stripper, and now we see Minka going to work the peep shows where she's like, this is something safer. The men can't actually touch her. She's not that close to the men. There's a glass between her, something in between. So, but she still is terrified doing this. She is so scared to take off her top and all of that. But there's this quote talking about her mom. Clearly, if she knew how to make a better life, she would have done so herself. I do think there is kind of naivety, I guess, to that, of thinking that if somebody wants a better life, they'll go out and get it. But at the same time, a lot of people don't know how to get out of the situations that they're in. Now, I haven't got a lot of backstory on her mom and how her mom got into this situation of being a stripper and all of that, but it's hard to get out of situations, and when it's something that's all you've ever known. Because think of Minka, so she grew up with her mom being a stripper, and now she's getting into sex work. It's just, that's all she's known. And sometimes you don't know how to get out of situations, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. But I think a lot of people also are judgmental to people in these situations. I especially see women judging other women who might be sex workers. Don't judge, try to help. Then this book is so immersive with the emotions, because as I was talking about how she's very scared when the screen goes up for the first time and it's her time to do a peep show for a guy, and she's terrified. You can just feel the adrenaline and the anxiety of it all. And then when we get into chapter 1, where it's like, because that's all the prologue, then we get to chapter 1 where it flashes back to her childhood, and we are just seeing seeing the world through the eyes of a child and how pure it is. Because as I said, her mom was a stripper. Her mom was taking her to the strip club, having her backstage while she did her thing, and just seeing how innocent a child is, and being thrown into this world of Hollywood in the 1980s on like the Sunset Strip, and I never thought of seeing that through the eyes of a child, because sure, like you've seen a Motley Crue music video and seeing the strip clubs and all of that, but you never think of seeing it through the perspective of like a 7-year-old girl. So you are really put into her shoes, and this book is great. We were just talking about the last book I read was not great at painting a picture. This is a nonfiction, and it is so great. I am picturing this so vividly, so the writing is very vivid. And then on how I was just talking about, so all that, I had no confirmation this was going to go into generational trauma, but we had this quote right here to start part 1. Family pathology rolls from generation to generation like a fire in the woods, taking down everything in its path, until one person in one generation has the courage to turn and face the flames. That person brings peace to his ancestors and spares the children that follow, and that quote's from Terry Real. And I really think that is a perfect quote of breaking that generational trauma. And obviously we know Minka becomes a famous actress and everything, so she does get out of this situation, and her kids are not going to have to be in this living in poverty and having to do whatever it takes to survive. And mind you, when I was telling you all about the Peep Show stuff, she was only 17. Her mother had signed over rights to Minka's boyfriend's father. So to see that, we know that she breaks this will, is fantastic, knowing that she gets out of it and that her kids don't have to go through the same thing that she did. And I think that is really something about parenthood, is giving your kids the best life possible. And then on page 17, yeah, seeing her, so now I know that a kid's calibration for what's normal is determined by whatever she grows up with. If your dad's a drug dealer and your mom works in the sex industry, that's just your regular life. For me, this was it. Crazy Girls was life as usual. So yeah, kids are so impressionable that a strip club is just, yeah, that's what's normal. But also at the same time, we see her, she's realizing that their landlady, who is also a single mother and has a son, Josh, who they are living just a very normal life. They don't have to worry about when they'll be able to get groceries again, or do not having anybody to play with, you know, do puzzles with, that kind of thing. So I think her eyes are kind of starting to open and be like, maybe this isn't exactly normal, because these people are a single parent family too, and they don't have to worry about all this stuff. So it's going to be really interesting to see Minka's journey from this lifestyle to who she is now. And those are my thoughts. That is the vlog for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a Christmas, I almost said Halloween, Christmas emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!